Morning traders, Paul here with GammaEdge. Today is Thursday, the 5th of January. Let's get started. Pause your players here, read to the bottom. If you agree, hit that play button. Summary for today. Market models are transitioning to the long side. We have a new long in our short-term indicator. Note that it is prone to failure because it is short-term. We've been in a choppy market. Long term, it's still in cash or short. The slopes of the ribbon are downward, but note as we move up in the short term, it will put this signal under pressure. That's what we want to go long. From the SPX perspective, we have dropped plus GEX, which is our right goalpost. That's the near-term upside target to 4,000. This is important. Minus GEX has moved up from 3,700 to 3,800. We had a one-day stint down at that lower level. Yesterday was a major change in character within the SPX index. And when we see this type of tightening, we usually break one of two directions. We don't know exactly what, but our bias is upward. I will note that a drop in plus GEX level is short-term bullish, and a rise in minus GEX is short-term bearish. So we can go either way here. We are seeing evidence of continued expansion of out-of-the-money calls above us. That is speculative, and that's good. We're looking for a close above the 3,900 strike, and if we can get up into that area, then that opens the door to 4,000 and points north. Yes, we are quite aware that there is news on the horizon. There always is, there always will be, and the markets climb a wall of worry for a reason. Our only guidance here is do not oversize. You need to look at these signals when they present themselves, and you need to start participating. There will always be a reason not to, and if that's the side you're leaning on, then I would urge you to just invest in mutual funds and forget about all of this. The market model via the cumulative tick, as I said, we have a new signal here. We've had just days of chop, 2 days down, 1 day up, 2 days down, 1 day up. We could easily fail, and I want everyone to be aware of that. We could easily continue up. The range is getting tighter as the long-term trend continues to decrease and the short-term cumulative tick starts moving up. We are looking for a move into the ribbon and then eventually above the ribbon. We are still very early in this process. It can easily fail, but right now we are very interested in going long. There are structural changes, which I'll get into here shortly, that support this signal. And when we see that, we like to make sure our shopping lists are neat and tidy. Key levels, as I said, the 4,000 and 3,800 strikes have changed. We got plus GEX at 4,000. We've got the 38 strike for minus GEX. Keep that in mind. Also note the expected move. This is open, high, low, close. Has moved down a significant amount. Today's estimated open, high, low, close range is less than it's been. Under 2 is remarkable. So we'll just see how things pan out. When we take a look at the PM settled complex for the SPX, you can see a lot of green starting to develop here. These are call-dominated deltas. That is constructive to an overhead move. It's pointing to, just in this structure alone, above the 3,900 strike, upwards towards 3,935. I don't think we're going to get there. I think it's too much for us to move into, but nevertheless, you can see where we're starting to look into overall transitions. To the low side, the 38.25 strike seems to be, for a short-term play, it seems to be kind of the inside number, and we're right in transition. Again, we can break either way, and we don't know. Nobody does. But given the structure and given the change in character that we're seeing in the SPX PM complex, our bias is to the upside. You can see the asymmetry across this. When we take a look at the 0 DTE, this is what's coming off today. Not overly strong, but note we are seeing a lot of the in-the-money calls come off. We're also seeing some out-of-the-money calls come off, and then we've got still some put domination that is coming off also. This is that 39.05, 39.10 level. If we do see any action, it's interesting when we start moving above these dominant strikes like this and start pushing north. The dealer response intraday is different than if these are monetized. And I want everyone to think through that. If you have any questions, come join us in the Discord, and we're happy to walk through some of this. From a 1 DTE, this is tomorrow's perspective of what we're looking at. Getting fairly large, still fairly balanced. Remember, this is what's coming off tomorrow. We are looking for potential parking spots tonight, 38.20, 25. This 38.55, 38.60 range, and then possibly sitting up under, all the way up to underneath the 39. I didn't put a circle 4 in here, but you can see there would be a potential of actually coming all the way up into here. We don't think we're going to get much higher than this 39.25. Once we pass that 3900, we lose steam quite fast. Again, this is what's coming off tomorrow, so being positioned for tomorrow would be very interesting, just depending on what we see today in the overall action today. But so just keeping an eye on where we are and this overall structure, and that'll help us gauge what's going to happen tomorrow. Taking a look at the combo complex, continuing to see overhead calls, which are out of the money, continue to develop, and clearly the in-the-money puts are being closed. That's good. So as we see more deltas appear here that are on the call side of the equation, it tells us a couple things, and that's why our the asymmetry of what we're seeing in this development is why we're favoring the bulls. Note the transition range here is extremely tight. When we see this type of transition where it's only a couple strikes wide, we're going to break one way or the other, and we think that's very important as you look forward here. To the upside, here's that 4,000 strike that we're talking about. It also has call open interest and put open interest dominant. These have been here for a long time and will continue to remain here. They're not very liquid. To the downside, that 38 and 3,700 lines, and of course we have all the quarter levels that always appear on these things. Just keep in mind, if we can break above this and start pushing into the 3,900 level, it's going to be very, very constructive for an upside push. Looking at the balance of this week, so I've only got 2 of the tiles turned on right now. I want everyone to just pause and think about what happens if prices start moving up. And if we can take the 3,900 strike for the balance of this week, what does that mean in the overall context of the combo, which is here? So this is all that remains for Thursday, Friday of this week. You can see where transition is. And I also want everyone to think about what happens if we fail. And if we get below 3,800, what's the dealer response if we drop? Again, if you don't know the answers to these 2 questions, come on into the Discord, and happy to walk through. Taking a look into next week, our crystal ball, basically we turn on all the tiles. You can see it's a very clean area into next week. We like that. Granted, these are coming off next week. These are the expiries for next week, but in aggregate, these will definitely influence the structure. This is going to just continue to grow in the gamma levels that you see here. And so our behavior, between now and next week will certainly drive a lot of this. You can see down below us, we're starting to see some of the put domination fall away. So these are out of the money puts, and as we get more and more green appearing here, those in the money calls start to take their place. People lose faith that what they have in place for next week's puts are going to be profitable, so they take them off the table, and then that adds to an overall gamma level as well as delta levels that are pushing on the positive side. So we like this asymmetry. We like the development next week, and until we have other evidence, this pushes our bias towards the bullish case here. Taking a look at the overall structure, I really urge everyone to watch this chart. We post it every day. This is a very, very clean transition. I would urge everyone to go back and take a look at the previous days and look just how this has changed over the last couple of days. We are now sitting literally right at this transition. When we sit at a very tight, very clean transition, we either break up or we break down. It's that simple. There's not a lot stopping us from going either direction. You can see we have a clear runway up to that 4,000 strike, and this thing has grown dramatically compared to where it was yesterday. We were up at 4,100, so a lot of calls have gone in without a lot of movement up from where we were yesterday. Same thing here. We actually we were at 37 yesterday, now we're at 38 here, and I think it's important for everyone to realize that if we can take that, start moving the whole transition range upward, this becomes more of a balanced structure, and it will be supportive to that upside. This is exactly what we're looking for. If you're looking for a way to play the markets and get an understanding of where we could potentially be headed, this is how you do it. I know a lot of folks out there kind of give snapshots of gamma and delta and whatnot, but if you're not looking at how things are evolving, you're really missing the case. So I would urge everyone to come in to our Discord, look at these tools, apply them to your trading, and hopefully you'll be able to make some money in your paper trading accounts. So with that, I'm going to leave you. Join us here, follow us here. And on YouTube, of course, if you like today's content, smash that like button. Give me immediate feedback that I'm on the right path and providing you what you want to see. And then, of course, subscribe, because Taylor and myself and Michael post content here. Taylor and I try to do at least a total of 2 videos per day. I do the morning, he does the evening. And between that, you should get a pretty good feel on the directionality of the markets. So with that, I bid you farewell. Hope to see you in the Discord. Thanks.